1. Welcome back to the channel, coin enthusiasts and history lovers. In today's video, we're going to explore the 1900 silver $1 coin, a coin with over a century of history, often known as the Morgan dollar. The Morgan dollar is one of the most popular and iconic US coins ever minted. First struck in 1878, it remained in production until 1904, and then once again briefly in 1921. That means the 1900 issue came out during the final years of its main production run. The coin gets its name from its designer, George T. Morgan, an assistant engraver at the US Mint who created the now famous portrait of Lady Liberty that graces the obverse. On the obverse side, you'll see Lady Liberty wearing a Phrygian cap, adorned with wheat and cotton, symbols of American agriculture. Across the top are the words E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. On the reverse, you'll find a striking image of a bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows, and an olive branch. The eagle is framed by a wreath, with the words United States of America and $1 around the edge. The coin was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 26.73 grams, with a diameter of 38.1 millimeters. That makes it a large, heavy coin, something you can really feel in your hand compared to today's coinage. The year 1900 was a fascinating time in US history. It marked the dawn of a new century, with America growing rapidly in both population and industrial power. Having a coin dated 1900 feels like holding a literal piece of the century's beginning. Several mints struck Morgan dollars in 1900, including Philadelphia, no mint mark, New Orleans, O, and San Francisco, S. Each has slight differences in rarity and value, though all share the same beautiful design. When we talk about a circulated, discolored coin, we're usually referring to a piece that has seen many hands, pockets, and transactions over its lifetime. After 123 years, that's no surprise. Circulated Morgans often lose their sharp details. On the obverse, Lady Liberty's hair and cap may appear smoothed down, while on the reverse, the eagle's breast feathers are often the first to fade. Beyond wear, many 1900 silver dollars show color changes due to exposure to the environment. Silver naturally tarnishes, developing what collectors call toning. In some cases, toning can be light and attractive, creating shades of gold, blue, or rainbow colors. In others, it can appear as dark gray or black patches, which are often considered less appealing. In a heavily circulated condition, the 1900 Morgan dollar may look dull, with little luster remaining. Still, even in that state, it carries immense historical charm and collector appeal. Collectors often separate coins into grades: good, very good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, and mint state. A circulated 1900 Morgan typically falls somewhere in the good to extremely fine range, depending on wear. The presence of discoloration or toning does not necessarily reduce a coin's value drastically, unless it's the result of corrosion or damage. Attractive natural toning can even raise collector interest. It's important to remember that each circulated coin tells its own story. A $1,900 with scratches, marks, and worn edges has literally been part of countless financial exchanges over the past century. During the time of its use, a silver dollar was not small change. $1 in 1900 had significant purchasing power, equivalent to about $35 in today's money. So these coins weren't handed out lightly. 18. That means each circulated Morgan dollar saw real use, whether in banks, businesses, or everyday life. Holding one is like shaking hands with the past. As for value today, a 1900 Morgan dollar in circulated condition usually sells for slightly more than its silver content. Because it's 90% silver, its melt value alone can be significant, depending on current silver prices. However, collector demand adds extra value. Even a heavily circulated, discolored $1,900 often fetches $35 to $50, and sometimes more depending on mint mark and eye appeal. If you happen to find one in better than average circulated condition, with clear details and less wear, the value can rise considerably. And of course, mint state or proof-like coins are worth hundreds or even thousands. But for most collectors, the charm of the circulated Morgan dollar is not about perfection. It's about connection to history, owning a coin that has survived for more than a century, through wars, depressions, and changes in American life. The fact that this coin is silver adds another layer of appeal. Unlike modern dollars, which are clad in base metals, Morgans have intrinsic value that ties them directly to the history of silver mining and the US economy. The 1900 Morgan dollar, in circulated and discolored condition, may not shine like a mint state coin, but it shines in another way, through character, age, and the stories it holds. In conclusion, whether you find it in a dealer's bin, inherit it from family, or buy it as part of your collection, the 1900 silver dollar is a timeless piece. Worn, toned, and circulated, it still carries weight, both literally and historically. A true treasure from the dawn of the 20th century.